We were almost in the air for longer than we were in Munich. By the time we landed, an hour and a half later, we were already filming. We had to cram a lot of stuff into a really short period of time. We've had a lot of really cool opportunities at TechnoBuffalo, but one of the coolest is definitely when BMW asked us to go out to Munich to check out their all-new X5 xDrive40e. So while BMW was nice enough to fly us out to Germany, all the opinions in this video are my own. It's a cool opportunity to get to go to Munich, to drive the car on European Munich roads, to experience Bavaria, to try the food, to try the beer, just to experience the culture.
What's up everyone? John Rentinger from TechnoBuffalo here. I don't generally like to drive more than 30 minutes from my house for anything, let alone travel clear across the world to Munich without a good reason. But behind me, I think I've got a good reason. This is the BMW X5 xDrive40e, and that little E at the end tells a pretty cool story. It's nestled inside of this guy is a 9.2 kilowatt hour battery pack. It's going to give you a pure electric range of about 18 to 20 miles depending on how you drive. If you want to play a game of spot the e-drive, differences are really subtle. On the left-hand side though, this is the biggest tell. This is where you're going to charge your car. And I'm out here battling the elements to show you all the cool things I think this car is going to have. So this is where you're going to charge it. It'll charge up on level 2 in about 2 hours. If you have a home charger at 120, a little longer. And it's got a really cool LED illumination ring around there, let you know what you're doing. It'll change colors depending on what's your state of charge. So that 9.2 kilowatt hour battery pack is going to live in the back without any loss of storage space. Oftentimes when cars have an electric pack, you end up with a weird battery hump or you lose storage. BMW actually designed the X5 to accommodate that battery pack from day one, so no issue at all. If you go ahead and open up this back, looks unremarkable like the back of any X5, and again, that's part of the idea. Well, it did include a handy spot for you to keep your cables. So the BMW X5 comes with a lot of stuff already in it, whether it's connected drive or the 9.2 kilowatt hour battery pack, but really the one accessory you want, one John Rentinger per car. There's also plenty of space in the trunk. So with about an 18 to 20 mile electric range, you might want to control how the car is using that battery pack. And you can do that with this eDrive button. I like to push buttons. I'm going to push that guy. And I have 3 separate ways a car can use a battery pack. The first one is save. It's going to save the energy in that pack for whatever you want to use it for later. The other one is max eDrive, and that should be pretty obvious. It'll use a battery pack first. Maybe you've got a short commute and you don't want to have to worry about burning any gas. You can use that. The next one is auto eDrive, and that's going to let the car do all the thinking for you. And with a car this smart, probably a pretty good way to go.
That's a typical Bavarian girl, huh?
Just lady with the chainsaw. Cool. So I've got a straightaway right ahead. That seems like a fun time to try the acceleration. Let's go ahead and change the drive modes. Let's just throw it into sport, see how it does. Fast.
We weren't entirely sure where we wanted to film, so while we were on the Autobahn, we took the closest Ausfahrt, which means exit and is not a city in Germany. We found a really cool, almost abandoned dirt road that had a farmhouse at the end of it. Usually with cars that have some sort of electric component, there's almost always a premium. BMW's done with the X5 xDrive40e is that it's almost the same price as the base X5 model, so you get all the benefits of the electric drive without having to shell out any extra bucks. The car's also going to come with xDrive, BMW versions of 4-wheel drive. And since there's a battery component, you're also going to be reducing your CO2 emissions. Controlling pretty much everything in this car is iDrive. This is definitely the best version BMW's ever made. There's now a new touchpad on top that lets you write in letters or numbers when you're putting in navigation. For me, I prefer the touchscreen option, which BMW is moving towards though with the new 7 Series. BMW's Connected Drive has some cool internet-enabled features. If you want to send a tweet, you can do that. If you want to schedule a meeting, you can do that too. If you want to use a concierge service and have them tell you a story, they can do that also. Talking about it's one thing, we figured we'd actually try it, so we hooked up Ron's phone and sent out a tweet that was completely in German. If you speak German, you can tell us what it says. Like all BMWs with Connected Drive, it also comes with a remote app, but hybrid cars also get some pretty cool new features.
It'll pull up a map and show you charging stations. If you're running low on electricity and you want to make sure you are fully charged up. You can also have some fun with the efficiency. You can see how well you're driving in different modes and how much electricity you're putting back in the car, or how much you're draining if you just want to floor it.
One of the reasons BMW thought of us to drive this car is I've been a big proponent of electric cars in general. So I was curious how this 9.2 kilowatt hour battery pack was going to work in a giant SUV. The transition from battery only to gas was actually pretty smooth and a lot smoother than I expected. If you're thinking though about driving this car and not plugging in and maybe just using it like a regular hybrid, don't do that. You're carrying around several hundred extra pounds of battery that is going to hurt your MPG. So if you want to pick up a car like this, you definitely want to make sure you have a chance to plug it in on a nightly basis. In comfort mode, not surprisingly, the car is comfortable to drive. In sport mode though, you might think it's going to drive like a 3 Series, and it's not. It's going to still drive like a big SUV. While you are going to feel bumps, suspension's going to be tightened up, you're not going to get the handling love that you get from something like a smaller sporty car.
This car has more cameras than we do in our studio. It's got a front camera, rear camera, cameras under each mirror, giving you a full 360-degree view from the top down, so you can see everything going on outside your car. You can see exactly how close you are to the curb. You can see how close you are to another car in front of you, to make sure you just never run over anything again. Don't run over anything.
Despite having all these cameras, I initially forgot they were there, and in these tight European roads, I ran over a curb. I was just happy I didn't damage our car. I wish I was able to check out the traffic jam assist. Essentially turns a car into almost autonomous driving in certain conditions on the freeway or Autobahn if you're lucky enough to live near one. In electric mode, not surprisingly, it drove like an electric car, meaning it had a ton of torque and was very silent. I was impressed with how quickly and seamlessly the gas engine kicked on. I don't know what the actual MPG is going to be in actual usage. We didn't get a chance to drive the car that long. So overall, the experience was a lot of fun. I had never been to Munich before. I've only been lucky enough to have been to Berlin once for the IFA show. While Germans are known for making really good cars, getting a chance to try the beer and drink the coffee made the trip worth it.